Golly, that's good.
I cracked myself up. I still haven't found my first Blanton's. That's different. I really like that.
They're like together, like peas and carrots.
That's funny. Sometimes accidents are good things. Peychauds or Peychauds or Peychaud. This is not what I expected. Howdy, howdy, howdy. We are here. It's been a week. It's been a week. I'm ready for a pour. How about you? You ready for a pour? I'm ready for a pour. We're going to pour. All right. This is the Jefferson's Twin Oak. And let's see. Greg is watching. Hey, Greg, how are you? Paul is here. Hello. I'm glad you're here. It's amazing that you just happen to be online doing the little thing here while I come on board and start this at a very unusual time. It's been one of those weeks. It's been a very, very busy week. But yeah, I'm ready for a pour. So we are going to do it. This is a fresh crack, never been opened, Jefferson's Twin Oak. Now we went over Jefferson's just a couple of weeks ago because we did the Pritchard Hill Cabernet cask. And, you know, I had remembered that Cabernet cask being so good. And then I tried it again. You know, it's been, oh my gosh, it's probably been 4 years since I've tried it. And maybe 3. And I was like, I don't like this anymore. I remember it being a lot better than this. So, but the Twin Oak is one that is starting to get out. Well, it's been out there. It's getting out there a decent amount. It's not as prevalent as some of the other Jeffersons, but it's getting out there. You know, hey, what do we got here? We got here sitting here bored. Get on it, bro. Never heard much good about Jefferson, so interested to hear what you think. You know, so when I tried the Cabernet cask for the very first time, I took a sip of that. I thought it was really good, again, years ago. And then I went to the regular Jefferson's, and it gave me a butteriness to it. The difference in the two was just so different, and I was like, wow, I like them both, right? And then I didn't care for the Cabernet cask just a few weeks ago. One of them that I truly enjoy is the Jefferson's Ocean. We did do a review of Jefferson's Ocean. It's been a little while ago, but I really, really enjoyed that one. You know, you always look at those gimmicks. Well, we're going to put it on a boat, and we're going to sail through the cold, and then we're going to sail through the hot, and then we're going to sail through the freezing, and then we're going to, you know, it seems kind of gimmicky and weird, but at the same time, it makes a little bit of sense because you're going to have that shrinking and that expanding of the barrel with the equator heat and then the Arctic cold. And you're also going to have it sloshing around in the barrel. Now, does that give it time, like it does in a rick house, to sit there and soak into the wood? No, not really. But then when you think about, again, the shrinkage and the expansion and the heat and the cold, maybe it does. So, and it's only on that cruise for like 6 months, so that's the secondary barrel to begin with. And it does, when you taste it, it has a little bit of a sea salt thing to it, which was kind of fun too. It's like, ooh, I got that. Now, I don't know if that sticks around. I haven't gotten back to that bottle to see if that sea salt sticks around, but it would be really cool if it did. Hey, Jane is watching. Jane, welcome. Welcome to the show. All right, well, let's get into this a little bit. We talked about Jefferson's just recently. I'll just give you a couple of more things. It's distilled at a distillery that we don't know about. They don't disclose where it comes. This is a blending company, and this is a barrel experiment company when it comes to the Twin Oak. Okay, they don't do their own juice yet. We'll see. Somebody's distilling for them. Could be Heaven Hill. Could be Wild Turkey. Could be could be George Dickel. It could be a lot of these places that distill for other people. Could be MGP. They don't say. So interested because that's the one I hear the most about. I do think it's a bit gimmicky, but maybe I'll have to give it a try. I did enjoy that one, to be honest with you, Greg. I really thought that that the Ocean was a very tasty bottle. I'm going to have to probably go back to that one. It's sitting back there just going, try me again, and I haven't done it, so I probably ought to do it. The Twin Oak, is one of several that Jefferson's does. They have the Jefferson's Reserve, the Jefferson's Ocean, limited releases of Ocean cask strength, Twin Oak, Chef's Collaboration, rum cask finish. I'd like to try that one. And the Pritchard Hill Cabernet cask finished bourbon. This one is a partnership between Jefferson's and the independent Stave Company, ISC. They developed a new barrel that maximizes the exposure to oak in a single cask. This is not a single barrel, don't get me wrong, but the cask that it sits in is special. The ISC and the master distiller of Jefferson's, Trey Zoller, played with a combination of seasoning, charring, toasting, and finally landed on incorporating a grooved stave barrel, which I understand may resemble an S pattern inside the cask. Now, when I hear a grooved stave barrel, I think of like if this were a stave. I got a stave. I have a stave. Hold on. I have a stave. Come here. Jeepers creepers. All right, so if you have a normal stave, right, what they could be talking about is that they take this and they maximize the exposure to the wood by taking a groove out of the center. But think about this. If they take a groove out of there, not only are they exposing it to the surface here, but they're exposing it to the surface inside the wood even more, right? So it's not just this surface, but it's also the surface inside the groove in both sides and all around. So they do that, and like I said, I from what I understand, it does resemble an S curve inside the barrel. Now that's just what I've heard. I don't know if that's true or not. I didn't find anything to corroborate that, but I've got it on pretty good, solid ground from somebody that knows whiskey at least as well as I do in most cases. I've been able to catch him a couple times and say, no, 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 no. And he's like, what? I'm like, because. And he's like, no. Anyway, sorry. Groove barrels, yes. Yes, exactly. So it exposes the booze to more surface area because of the groove. Now, I don't know the pattern of the groove. I don't know how to do it. I like to think of the groove like this. I'm sorry you had to see that. All right, let's get back into it. Reported to be between 6 and 8 years old, although one place used the number 6 and that's it. Another place said that this was 10-year-old juice. However old the whiskey is that's inside this, and I'm going to lean towards 10 because that's pretty dark, it actually only sits in that grooved stave barrel for 4 months. So that's your twin oak. It starts off in this barrel, it moves to another barrel, and then sits there for 4 months, and then that's the finishing of it. And that's one of the things that Jefferson's does, is they do finishing on things. So they've got their regular stuff, and then they finish it in something else. Rum cask, groove stave, Pritchard Hill Cabernet. So you got it? Got it. Okay. Let's try it, shall we? I did have this in a smoked old-fashioned back on, like, I think it was the 1st of June. And it was at a place in Tiffin called the Renaissance Bourbon Bar. Really nice place, actually. And the bartender knew what he was doing, and he used a hickory smoke, and it was really, really good. But now it's time to try this and put it through the gauntlet. All right. I gotta open those things up sometimes. Really nice vanilla's popping out. Oh, that's probably the most vanilla that I've had on a pour in a little while. Good. That's actually pretty good. Yeah, that's nice. There's a little licorice on it. That red hot cinnamon, but it's more sedate than I'm used to. I'm not getting like super hot, red hot. I don't mean, you know what I mean. There's a slight tinge of honey and a little bit of fruit on it. Yeah, that honey's nice. It's just really nice blended in there. That fruit, I can't exactly tell you what note. It's a sweeter one. It's not bitter like a raisin or a black cherry. It's got a sweet side to it. All right, here we go. I like that. That's got a nice mouthfeel. Beautiful caramel on the palate, or caramel if you have a degree. That is nice. That's got a really nice sweetness to it. I don't know the mash bill. They don't tell you the mash bill when it comes to Jefferson's, unfortunately. There's no age statement. There's no mash bill. I'm gonna guess that this. I mean, it's Jefferson's, right? Jefferson's is Jefferson's. Everything Jefferson's is Jefferson's, and then they finish it. They do something in a barrel, or they finish it, or they blend it, or they do something. Sometimes the age statement is a little bit higher. Sometimes the proof is a little bit higher. The proof on this one is feels low. It is. It's 90.2 proof. Now, that's low to me, or low-ish. That's kind of where I've been hovering lately, is right around that 90, 92 proof type of thing. I've been trying to get back down out of those super high-proof pours. It's difficult, but that's what I'm doing. Been doing the Boone County, the regular one from MGP, the small batch. And then I did Old Scout from Smooth Ambler. Those are the ones I've been kind of sipping on lately. So this has got a really nice flavor to it. The bloom is, again, I'm used to higher proof pours, but the bloom on this one is very smooth, very calm. It's got to be that extra oak. I don't know, maybe not. I don't know. It's I think the second barrel mellowed it out. That's kind of the feeling I get from it. I'm going to tell you that the palate is very, very similar. Gosh, there's a sweetness there. That's got to be that honey. Oh my Lord, that's nice. There's a sweetness to it. Yeah, that's what it is. So let me go back. On the palate, it's very similar to the nose. There's a lot of really nice vanillas. It's got a sweetness to it. Caramel, not salted caramel, just a really nice sweet caramel. And then that honey really is popping through. I'm not catching licorice on the palate, which is, I don't mind it. I don't like licorice, but I don't mind it on my whiskey because it gives it a little bit of depth. Sometimes it's just another note. Again, there's not licorice in it. It doesn't taste like licorice. It reminds you of licorice. It reminds you of cinnamon. It reminds you of the vanillas and the caramels and things like that. They're not actually in it. This is not a flavored bourbon. The only thing that flavors this is the barrel and time. That's it. And the distillate's going to have some flavor. I mean, that's why you have the mash bill. If you have, a higher barley content, you're going to get more nuttiness, a little more fruitiness. If you have more of a rye content, you're going to end up with a little more spice, sometimes a little more grassiness. Corn's going to give you that sweetness, that rounding out. Yeah, this is actually a very, very nice pour. Twin Oak is one of my favorite. However, I love the Tropics that they produced. I've not tried one of those yet. Those are getting a little higher in price than even the Ocean, as I recall. And I think before I start getting back on the collection wagon, I'm going to continue just kind of going through what I have. Because I've got a lot. What is this, number 226, 227, 228, something like that? And I haven't even, I've scratched the surface at this point, but there's still a lot of pours I have that I have not been able to show to you. I mean, I've got an entire collection. At some point, we're going to do this. I've got an entire collection of Maker's Mark sitting here, off camera, that is just saying, drink me, drink me. I've got an entire collection of Knob Creek that I'm dying to get to because I love Knob Creek, especially some of their barrel strength pours. I just spoke French. So there's a lot I got to try, and it was time to go through the collection a little bit before I get back to buying again. And of course, there's the whole money thing. you gotta make the money to be able to spend the money. You follow me here. All right, let's finish this up, and then hey Carrie, how are you? I'm glad you're watching. Thank you for joining us on a Friday night, a late Friday night. Didn't mean to do this on a late Friday night, but here we are. I even went to a football game tonight, but I wasn't there to watch the football game. I was there to do a little filming. I got hired. All right. It's mellow, smooth, well-rounded, just a hint of complexity. This is a very, very nice pour. I can help with the tropics. I'll let you. All right, let's get some water on it. Put a little water on it. That should be a country song, shouldn't it? Probably is. Although I didn't sing anything about a dog dying or mama being in prison or my truck. Just 4 drops. That's all I'm going to do, because that's what I've been doing lately, and I've been noticing that it changes nicely with just a little bit. So we'll start with that, and if it looks like I need to put more water on it, I will. If it tastes just fine and does what I want it to do, then that's it. Okay. Cinnamon's popped out just a little bit more on the nose. There's a little bit more of a rice spice there too on the nose when it opened up with water. So now I'm interested. Now I'm curious. I want to know what it did to it. What did you do? Actually, it'd be over here. What did you do? All right. Okay. All right. I think that's well mixed. Boy, just 4 drops really pulled that flavor profile down. It actually increased the heat on the bloom just a little bit, just a skosh. But the flavors didn't pop quite as much. Matter of fact, it didn't pop nearly as much for me. That happens sometimes. You add water to it and you add ice to it, and it just says bye. That's what this did. It's looking out the back window, crying, holding its teddy bear. Bye. Yeah, that's... I'll give it another chance. Come back to me. Love me. The sweetness kind of died down a little bit too. Again, when you bring out those rye notes, you can sometimes wave that sweetness goodbye, and I think that's what happened here. Again, I don't know the mash bill, so I can't reveal that. I can't speculate on it. But to me, if there's a decent amount of rye in this recipe, then that water brought it out and brought down the sweetness, and I actually kind of preferred the sweetness myself. Because I got to think that, it's twin oak. It's got all this extra oak in it, and if you add water to it, what's that do to it, right? It's going to diffuse some of those flavors. That doesn't always happen. Sometimes it blooms it up and makes it great and opens it, and this time it just didn't. To me, it became inferior to the neat. So now I'm kind of thinking I don't even want to put it on ice, but I'm gonna. Of course, we got us a gorgeous ice sphere. Beautiful. These things are so I still have not gotten over these. They're just gorgeous and so elegant. And they elevate the drink. And they don't melt so quickly because you got a lot less surface area. And the clear ice doesn't melt as fast as like cloudy ice. And it just looks elegant. Don't you want to be elegant? I know. I'm not going to go crazy on this because I have a feeling I'm not going to like it. I think I'd much rather drink this one neat. All right, Paul, you're with me, so I got to do it, right? The finger stir. Why do we finger stir? Well, let me put it to you this way. This week we put my mother into a nursing home. And when we did so, dinner came, and she had some turkey on her plate and some green beans on her plate, and I cut up her turkey for her, and she started to munch, but she did it with her fingers. And there was a fork laying right there, and I said, "Do you want your fork?" She says, "No." Okay. So she continued to eat her green beans and her turkey with her fingers, and I was like, "Are you sure you don't want your fork?" And she says, "My fingers were made before forks." Of course, at that point, I had to say, "You're probably right. You're pretty old." And then she flipped me off. True story. 84 years old and flipping off the man who put her in a nursing home. I deserved it. She's not doing great, but she's doing the best that she can. Just a little update for you. She could use some prayer, probably. All right, so let's try this. See, it changed again. It got tannic. If you're a red wine drinker and you've had red wine that has like the stems and the skins and all that in it, you know what I mean by tannic. It's a little on the bitter side. No. This is one that needs to be drank the way it is presented right out of the barrel. It's got a great sweetness, a beautiful flavor to it, really nice balance. You start mucking with it and put water on it and you put ice on it, and it just doesn't do it for me. It might do it for you. I know a guy that can't drink any whiskey unless he has ice on it because it'll activate his acid reflux. Okay, drink it how you like it. I don't care for it this way. Mm-mm. Mm-mm. Nope. Nope. All right. So Paul says, hopefully just a short stay and she can go home. No, thank you, Paul, but that's not going to happen. My mother was diagnosed with stage 4 ovarian cancer, 6 months to live or less. She is in hospice, and at this point, we are preparing for what's next for her. So she's not going to get better. She went from like 115 pounds to 75 pounds. I guess she's back up to like 80 now. And the place isn't home for her yet. And I don't know if it will be, because she also is carrying dementia. And when you're not in your home turf, you're not at home, she's on her bed. We moved her bed, but your fridge and your thermostat and your carpet and your couch and your door, those things that bring familiarity and comfort and stability, fly out the window when you go to a new place. Now, when she's at my place, she's doing all right because she's familiar with this place. She knows where everything is. It's comfortable for her. She's been staying here for 11 years when she comes for Christmas, Easter, whatever else, so she doesn't go through all that. But this is a whole new place. It's a nice place. Her name is on the door and everything. It's very nice, actually. Very nice. And the staff is funny, and they're nice people. And they get stuff on the door to keep people from wandering away. But yeah, this is going to be her last home. So thank you, Paul. Amanda's watching. Amanda Evans. Hey, I haven't seen you in a while. Don't look at my teeth. She's my dental hygienist. Don't look. I know I've got to see you, next month? On the 17th. Yes, now is where I start flossing. I hate flossing. All right, one more sip. Okay. Yeah, that doesn't do it for me. Okay, so we're still doing randoms, and I don't remember if I've done this one before. And if I have done it, then I'll cancel it and do something different next week, and that would be the Evan Williams Single Barrel. I don't remember if I've ever done the Evan Williams Single Barrel. I want to say I did, so I may have to cancel this and do something else. This one is the latest one I was able to pick up. This is a 10-year. This can't be a 10-year. This is 2015. Wait a minute. I don't know. Anyways, a 2015. Cody's watching. Hey, Cody. How are you? She says hello. Amanda says hello. She says hello. So it was barreled. Oh, here we go. So it was a 9-year. Barreled on October 6th of 15. Bottled on March 15th of 24. I got this year. Huh, that's cool. Okay, so it's a 9-year. At any rate, I don't know if I'll do this one next week or something else, but there we go. There's your Bourbcast. I'm sorry to have done it so late on a night that is not normal. We will try to get you back. I don't know if we're going to be back even next Thursday. We'll have to figure it out. For some reason, all of a sudden, production is ramping up, and I got to work when they want me to work, and I got to do when they want me to do, and so there you go. That's the life of somebody who makes videos for a living. Is you work when they tell you. So that's what we're doing. I will try to keep you posted as to when the next Bourbcast is going to be. If we can do it on Thursday, we'll do it on Thursday. Otherwise, thank you for coming and checking this out on a late Friday night. I hope if your high schooler played football tonight, I hope they did well. If they didn't do well, I hope they came home with a smile anyway and had fun playing. We will see you next week at some point right here on Beautiful Bourbon. Check us out on YouTube. That's youtube.com, and then the @ Beautiful Bourbon. That's called a handle. So you can check it out. It's the same thing that you're seeing now, but sometimes we spruce it up and put like funny things in it. Just occasionally, not a lot. So if you're not doing anything, you want to check that out, do so. We've kind of given up on Instagram because it's boring. We kind of give it up on the website because people keep trying to hack it. So I haven't really done anything with it. So it's here, and it's YouTube. And that's it. We'll see you next week. Thanks for watching.